I decided it's time to get out of the studio and enjoy this beautiful Canberra spring morning. And I don't know if there's any other place I'd want to be right now. This is stunning. The birds are just going bonkers out there, and yeah, life's pretty good. Now, I had this grand idea in my head, and I have a lot of grand ideas in my head, but this grand idea was I was going to bring out a picnic rug, I was going to sit down, and I was going to play The Hobbit there and back again for you out in the bush, because it's the perfect game for that sort of thing. Except for when I first recorded, I sat down, got bitten on the ass by a bull ant, and ants, really bad ants. Ugh. Hope that ant doesn't bite me. Ugh. Okay, there and back again. So what we've got here is a Hobbit theme. Now, it's been an absolute hot minute since I had watched any of the Lord of the Rings, and I really enjoyed them. Don't get me wrong, not my favourite IP, but bloody good. And pretty much something that you can really roll and write about. And that's what this story is. It's 8 chapters going from the start, where you're a bunch of dwarves and trying to get to Bag End, and you're going through all these different chapters. You're going to visit some trolls. There's so many different little story paths as you go through these 8 chapters. Now, the designer, Reiner Knizia, boy oh boy, by the time I've finished with this intro, he's already designed another 7 games. Like, that guy can really just whack him out, and good on him, good on him. That's pretty good. Well, we've got here firstly an unexpected party, and Reiner, well, he knows we need an introductory campaign, and that's what this one is. We're going to be introduced to the bread, to the wizard's hats there, and to the swords. We're just going to be drawing lines from all these dwarves and Gandalf and Thorin to Bag End. There we go, nice and simple. Next up, we got the cave trolls, and now the swords are really coming into play. We're going to be spending those swords north, south, east and west of each of these trolls to destroy the trolls there. Trying to also avoid going into the crevices, because you're going to lose points when you do that. That's pretty much what I did, annoyingly. Then you go to the mountains, then you're going to be a race to Rivendell on the part 2. Part 3, well, we've just got goblins there, and goblins are bad. All you need to know, thunderstorms, goblins, part 3 there. Part 4, and we have Gollum, we have the ring, and now we've got the 12-sided die, and you're going to be rolling that die, colouring in different shapes there, and colouring them in on the board, trying to race around, cover some of these different riddles, because that's going to score you bonus points. You're going to need those bonus points, and then go to the ring. Part 5, dirty, dirty dogs, and what are they called? Wargs or something? Hungry wargs, just dirty, dirty dogs. We're also introduced here to pine cones. We're going to be burning those pine cones, try and keep those wargs at bay, and then it's a race out to be saved by the big eagle. So that is part 5. Part 6, we got Mirkwood, spiders. Spiders are jerks as well, and it's going to be very similar before to the Golden one, where we're going to be colouring in different shapes using the 12-sided die. Now we're introduced to Smaug, the dragon there, and well, we're also introduced to bread, because while we're fighting dragons, we also need to bring out bread to the camps and stuff. Cool. I don't even know the story on this one, but that's basically it. And then we got some gems there, which we're trying to collect. And then finally, part 8, the big one, the bards taking on Smaug, the big final battle here. And well, we're trying to save the people, bring them out to the boats to save them, but we're also rolling the die to try and kill Smaug there. And we've got 13 numbers. So you're going to have to utilize different things to be able to manipulate the numbers on the die to get each one of those numbers to defeat Smaug. That is it, 8 chapters. Let's head back home. And before we start, what do we get in the box? Well, we get 4 of these dry erase 8 chapter booklets. We're going to get a whole bunch of components: bread, swords, we're going to get pine cones, we're going to get some dice, we're going to get a 12-sided dice, we're going to get 4 markers. That's pretty much everything you get. So let's get into how does the game play. I'm going to look at part 2 here, and this is roast mutton, and it's going to be about the cave trolls, and we're trying to destroy the cave trolls and get to Rivendell. Now, what we're going to do is we're also going to quickly explain how the solo works and how it compares to multiplayer. So first things first, we're going to roll the dice. Now the first player, they're going to get a choice there to pick one of the dice, they're going to do their action. And the second player will have a go, say third player will have a go. Let's say it's only a 3-player game. Well, then it goes back to the first player again. They'll get one, and then second player. And it's just going to keep rotating around. First player will keep rotating around. So eventually everyone's going to get an equal amount of turns there. Play it slightly different. We're going to roll a dice, and then you've got to put them into groups. It's going to need 2 groups of 2 and 1 group of 1. And I'm just going to do it this way here. There we go. Then from there for solo, you get a choice of 1 die in each of those 3 groups there. So that's how that's going to work. And the way it says in the book is choose the 2 dice on the left as 1 group, 2 dice on the right as 1 group, and there should be 1 die in the middle there. The other thing for solo is you're also going to have a round tracker. Now, in multiplayer, you just play until someone wins. But in solo, we've got a round tracker here, 13 rounds. In rounds 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and 13, we're going to remove 1 glory each one of those rounds just to make things a little bit tighter, a little bit harder. Okay, let's get into this, and we're going to start here. Well, first things first, I always like these dice here with 3 on them. And well, we're starting up here in Bag End, and we're trying to get to Rivendell here. So let's go with this one right here. And I think I'm going to do this one here because right now we need to go through and we're going to need to get some of these swords. These swords are going to be super important for us. And that's a terrible, let me see. I was already angry. Oh my God. I was angry at myself for doing that. Let's do it a bit neater. There we go. Done. So I've done my first thing and I've got myself a sword. Now, what's different in part 2 here, these swords, we're going to need these swords to be able to defeat the cave trolls. So I got myself my first sword there. So that's my first die. Second die, well, I'm going to get 2 bread. And well, bread is going to be good because bread is going to get us points here. So again, every game's different, but for this one, the bread, 1 to 4 will get us 5 points, 5 to 9, 10, 10 to 14, 20, 15 plus 30. So that's fine. We just grab ourselves 2 bread and that's done. And finally, a choice of one of these. I get either the sword or a straight line. Well, let's just go for a straight line. I think it makes sense. And what we're going to do is follow that. So you can turn them in any rotation, but you must follow, obviously, the pattern that's on the die. Done. That is my first round done. And we move on to the second round. So roll again. Okay, so I'm looking for those groups there, and sure, let's go to 2 on the right, 1 in the middle, 2 on the left. And let's start maybe with a wizard hat for this one. So these wizard hats, there's a whole bunch of bonuses down here depending on the wizard hats that you get. And I kind of like this one here, so let's just circle that there. You can do circle crosses, whatever you want. It's a roll, right? It's pretty loose. Okay, now we've got a double straight line again. That's easy. Done. And then finally, we've got a choice of these 2. Do I go now the wizard's hat? No, I think for now, let's go with this cross pattern, which would basically be, let's go with this one here. Done. We're now round 2. Let's go to round 3. And again, we would, if we were doing this properly, we would get rid of one of the glories, and we might as well. We're on round 3 now, so let's get rid of one of the glories here. And let's get rid of that one there. Just cross that one out, done. Okay, now the way it's just worked out here, we'll go 2 on the left here. I'll go these 2 together and this one. Now I get my choice of 1. And sure, why not? 1, 2, done. And this one. Now I've got to be very careful here because if I go into the cave, into the, what do they call them, the dangerous space there, well, I'm going to lose points. Every time I hit one of them and go into one of those, I'm going to lose. So at the moment, it's worth 15 points if I don't get any of those dangerous spaces. But as I keep going into them, I'm going to lose points. So maybe I don't want that. But problem is, how am I going to do this? Maybe, and triple banger, and I think for now this one's not going to work. So let's go with that one. So I'm going to go with, I'll go this way for that one. And that gets me a wizard hat, which will give me this one, which gives me these two, which why not? Let's do that. Let's go with, I'll go here, 1, 2. That would get rid of 2 swords. And what was my final one? Oh, it was this one, wasn't it? Which I'll just go with 1, 2, 3 there. Get rid of that and get rid of a sword. And for this particular cave troll, I've only got to get rid of 1 more sword. This one also only needs 1. Let's see if I can do that next round. And this might be my last round today, I reckon. It'll be enough for you to sort of just get an idea of how this game plays. And sure, let's just use this one to get rid of this cave troll. Done. And we circle that. We got 3 points. And we've already got the first one of them. And then as you can see, now I've got to try and get through there. There's a bonus loot there worth 5 glory, which is great. Eventually I'm going to get across there to the new region, hopefully get some of these white stone mountains, and then get down to Rivendell. And I'm going to do that all in 13 rounds. So that's that. Look, let's quickly just have a look at one of the others here. Let's go. This is the one I kind of like as well. You've got the die here. You're going to roll a die, 11. 11 means I'd be crossing out one of these, and then you would start drawing that pattern on here. So what would be 1, 2, you can flip them any rotation, and there we go. And I'm trying to surround all of these different riddles for bonus glory. And it's the exact same thing if I'm playing solo, 13 rounds, trying to get and surround that ring there, fill in all 8 sides to collect the ring, and you'd win part 4 there. Anyway, hopefully that's enough for you to understand how this roll and write works. So there we go, the Hobbit, there and back again. This is one of the better roll and writes out there. If this is a genre of board games that you really enjoy, then you're going to really enjoy this, because again, having 8 chapters that all play that a little bit differently, and again, that storyline going from start to finish is a really good way to do it. And again, Reiner Knizia, boy oh boy, can he pump out a game or two, and this one, really, really good. So I highly recommend, if you are into roll and writes, or if you just want something just to be able to chuck in your backpack when you go out for a picnic like I was about to do until I got attacked by all of the nature out there, this is brilliant, because seriously, this all it packs up. You grab this, you grab your pen, grab a few baggies full of stuff, grab your dice, and you are ready to go and just have some fun. Solo, multiplayer, up to 4 players. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. So there we go. The Hobbit, there and back again.